Yo.
What up? What up?
Welcome back. Let's fucking go, bro.
Episode 220.
Somebody just tuned in for the first time and I started with the F word. I'm sorry.
Not.
Please come back. 220. Let's go.
220, man. Welcome back, everybody, to the Carpet Footman Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit him with this shit from this week. Let's go.
Oh, and if you guys are watching the video, this shit look like a problem waiting to happen, bro. This is like a hood rat fucking libation, the hood rat cocktail it out, but it's wild. We got Henny on the table, and the Henny is like, if you have any friends from questionable areas, Henny might as well be fucking the ace of spades.
Yeah, fucking champagne of the hood.
Yeah. But I wanted to try to make like I know we're not officially at spring or like summer yet, but we're close. We're like a week away from like, not even.
If you're in Florida,
it's spring.
Goddamn right.
But yeah, I wanted to do like a summertime thing. We even changed up the cup this week because I wanted it to feel like the party vibe, like the, hey, poolside barbecue, whatever you're doing, like at your house, like a balcony, patio, whatever. So we did the clear solo cup.
We got solo cups, people.
Yeah, goddamn, we did. We did it this time. Also, I may have made that decision while I was already drinking. I don't know.
I was scared.
Not important.
When I saw Hennessy.
Oh, you had concern on your face.
And tequila and solo cups.
Yep. Yeah. When you walked in and you looked at the counter, you were like, bro.
Yeah, what are we doing?
What are we doing? You're like, I got shit to do.
Those
tomorrow.
are two different drinks you're going to try, right?
Yo, I knew this shit might be questionable when you're off tomorrow and you still had concern.
I got shit to do.
You were like, bro, I got stuff to do in the morning. I was like, not anymore. And then I gave you supplements.
Yep. And if they work, you're going to send me a picture tomorrow.
I got you. But
I hit him with the recipe.
Yeah, we're going to call this poor decisions. This was in a solo cup filled with ice, goddammit, or just a clear solo cup. Let me be specific. In a clear solo cup, because you got to look at it. It looks pretty. You're going to do an ounce of Henny, an ounce of Reposado tequila. We did the Herradura just because we had done the Herradura like last week or week before, and it was great. Yep. And I never tried the Reposado, so we did that. So an ounce of Reposado tequila, an ounce of the Henny, half an ounce of triple sec, about an ounce of passion fruit puree, and then top off with lemonade. And stir it. Make sure you get the puree in there. I like to add a little bit more of the puree, probably like to taste. Like if you want to squeeze a little bit of that puree bottle of the passion fruit in there to make it sweeter, or you can do less. Do less you don't want it that sweet. And garnish with a lime and lemon wheel, and that's it. I feel like it's a nice poolside. It's an easy one to make. There's a lot of stuff in it, but it's easy. Again, the lemonade, the Henny, the tequila, the triple sec, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. And for the ladies in your life, right? Like they would probably like the sweeter side, and for the guys, again, you can if you don't want the sweet stuff, you can back off of the sweet stuff as much as you want. But this shit hits, man. I like it.
Listen, Henny makes everybody slutty too. I'm worried about this shit, bro. I'm like, I started taking layers off already. I'm like, let's go. I thought we was recording the OnlyFans thing. I was like, wait.
Yeah, I went to get some cognac this past weekend, and went to the local liquor store, and the Hennessy is locked up. So
it depends what neighborhood you're in.
Yeah, bro, that's how you know what neighborhood I'm in.
And he's not locked up in a white neighborhood.
And I also, and the price point is higher than it should be. Yeah, dude. So it was where I saw it was like $45. And Henny shouldn't be over 35.
Dude, I tell you, I paid 31 for my Henny. Yeah. But I got it at Total Wine.
Yeah. And so this was a local Publix. And what's funny is that you know how they have they'll have the really expensive stuff locked up in a cabinet. They'll have the sort of like the top shelf stuff maybe behind the counter.
Yeah.
Now, in the cognac section, they have Hennessy there with the other stuff within its price point, but Hennessy is locked up.
Yeah. Stereotypes are there for a reason.
Yep. Hennessy is locked up. And I always remember going into that same store one time, and the Hennessy was behind the counter. It wasn't locked up. It was behind the counter. And I asked the guy, I was like, yo, why do y'all have Hennessy behind the counter?
People steal it.
And he looked at me, he goes, you know why.
You know. I wanted to say that.
I'm like, that's how you know where you at.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not.
It's so true though, bro. Yeah, because you figure there's probably bottles that are significantly more expensive that are not locked up, but the Henny is.
Bro, I'm telling you, the other things within this its price point are not locked up, bro.
Yeah, we gotta be better. Brown and black folk gotta be better. And I'm really saying mostly black folk. I'm saying brown too, just to get away with it. Listen, I just did an Ancestry.com thing. I can't wait for the results to be back.
You did?
I'm gonna get wild.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna be dropping 16 N-words.
We get a
whole podcast. I know I'm at least 6% black.
We're gonna have a whole podcast on that shit.
I'm about to
think I'm 1.2% guy.
Yeah. Bro, I'm being racist against everything that shows up on my thing. I don't even care if it's 0.1%. Guess what? I'm saying racist shit against that. Don't let me find out.
Well, you know, we supposedly, man, we all from Africa.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Everyone
right?
is technically like African to an extent, and then it's like, and obviously I'm Puerto Rican, so I know there's gonna be mostly a lot of African in there.
Yeah, bro.
But I can't wait to find out what the other shit is, and then I could I'm like, man, what other what racial slurs can I use that I haven't been able to use in the past? Because the N-words is, I grew up in Jersey, everybody uses it. It's like
that's the terms of endearment.
Yeah, it's the term of endearment. Yeah, but so I've never even heard somebody use it with the hard R until I got to Florida. So,
yo, facts, bro, facts.
I was like, that's like saying, dude, what are you talking about? I was like, why do you sound angry?
Yeah, right. But why do you say it like that?
I'm excited. I was like, and I prefaced it with my. You said that.
I remember the first time I was here, bro. I'm like 14 years old, and I had hanging out with some white guys, and I used it, and the guy looked at me strange and was just like,
"Oh, the record stopped." Yeah.
What? Like what?
Like, whoa, what's wrong with you?
Why are you calling me that?
Like, sir, I'm not. It's 2000. It's 1992. Why are you using that stuff?
No, the dude he goes, I'm not black.
I'm not.
And I'm just like, clearly, bro, like, what the fuck? I didn't know where I was.
Are you
I'm
sure?
Sorry.
Like, are you sure? Oh my God, man. What a time. Let's fucking go.
All right, man. Carpet for Minute of the Week is going out to Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Not because he did anything crazy, but Anthony Mackie was recently on the podcast The Pivot. And so shout out to those guys on the Pivot.
I like those guys, man. I like
man. I do.
I like Ryan Clark. I like I can't never think of the other, but there's an NBA guy and an NFL guy in there. Yeah.
And so Anthony Mackie said that there was two things on there that we wanted to discuss. So he had thoughts on success, and then he also had thoughts on raising his sons.
Yeah.
So the first one, should I just play the clip, bro?
I think so. Yeah. I think the best way to talk about it, is to give it context, is to play the clips. And if for anybody who doesn't know who Anthony Mackie is, obviously he's the new Captain America. He was 8 Mile. He's the Papa Doc in 8 Mile, where Eminem goes in. If you remember that movie, The Last Rap Battle. It's the one where Eminem kind of goes in on that. He has a funny story about that too, which is great. But Anthony Mackie, he's been in a lot of shit, but I think obviously most important is playing Falcon in the Marvel universe, and then now he's a new Captain America. So.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So this is a clip on him talking about success.
Success. Okay. Yeah. That and yeah, he's this is on The Pivot again, so not our clip. So we want to give credit to those guys.
I've seen people go from one role to winning Academy Awards and doing all this shit. And what I realized yesterday thinking about it, we're lying to our kids, dog. And I think that's a big problem in our community. We tell our kids that and this is fresh on my heart, like I literally just came to this conclusion last night. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs and they will become successful. if you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true. Success is given. It's not earned. Because you can be the most brilliant. If one person don't tap you, each one of y'all. There were people who could hit harder, who could catch better, who could run faster. But somebody said, you're in the business. In the business 24 years.
Nah. All right, that's good enough. Anyway.
Yeah, it is. And so, like, again, he's talking to 3 guys that are pro athletes on the pivot, right? I know it's Ryan Clark,
former pro athletes,
right, former pro athletes. There's an NBA guy, NFL guy, yeah, and 2 NFL guys, if I remember correctly, right? I can never remember the other guy's name, and I'm sorry, guys.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
But yeah, but it's a great podcast. You guys never heard the pivot? Definitely listen to it. Ryan Clark, his whoever is his stylist, fucking impeccable, man. Shout out Ryan Clark. The fashion choices are on point. But here
we go. It's Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and then Channing Crowder.
Channing Crowder is who I was thinking NBA wise, and Fred Taylor's the other NFL guy. Yeah, okay. So he's talking, and so he's obviously telling them like, hey, somebody had to pick you. I understand what he's saying. I wish what he would have said, and maybe this is like implied in what he's saying, is like, you also have to work hard. Because my fear is like we live in the 30-second fucking clip era, right? That somebody would hear that and go, oh, Anthony Mackie's saying that you don't really need to work hard, that you just got to get lucky, or somebody has to pick you, or success is given, or whatever. And it's like, he's saying that, but he's also saying you have to do all this shit and then hope someone just fucking picks you.
It's almost like an and, not
correct.
Right.
It's an implied
not an instead of.
Right. Exactly. And that's what and this is why I went like, I'm like, man, I wish you would have said that, because of course the headline becomes Anthony Mackie says that to be successful, somebody just has to fucking give it to you. And it's like, he's not wrong in the sense of like, you hear this all the time, even on a normal life. It's like, it's about who you know, not what you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And in reality, it's a little bit of both, right? Like, you have to be really good. You have to work hard. And then you have to know the right people who give you opportunities because you worked hard, because they know your work ethic, because they know your character, because they know,
Yeah, like, people are not picking you because you're a piece of shit.
Right. And so it's like, when he says like, hey, we're lying to our kids, it's like, I wish you would say, it's like, we're lying to our kids because we're not giving them the full truth. It's like, hey, you got to bust your ass. And then you have to hope to meet the right people. And you have to hope to, dude, it's like, I make this argument with people all the time. It's like the difference between fucking Duke and Harvard and whoever and a community college is the network. It's the who. It isn't the what. Math is math. English is English.
Yep.
Science is science. Right? It's who you're surrounded by. It's the network you create. That's why you're in Ivy League. It isn't because the Ivy League teaches you better. It's because it gives you better access to things and resources and people. Yeah. And most importantly, people, right? It's people who know more, who can teach you more, who can, it's like, so yes, while I agree that success is sort of given, and listen, man, I'm the product personally in my career of someone who has been given opportunities because of people that I've known. But I had to earn that through what I did. Right. And it was like, had I just been like someone, I think, who was lazy, who didn't work hard, like I wouldn't have gotten those opportunities. I think the opportunities were, 50% of the equation. The other 50% of the equation was I happen to just get in with the right people. I happen to know the right people. I happen to impress the right people.
You have to prove yourself.
Exactly.
And you earned your keep.
Yeah. And I think, dude, it's a conversation that we need to have, because he's right in the sense of like, there's a lot of people, we live in this sort of era of entitlement, and there's a lot of people who feel like they deserve and they should get things and all that. And I do think there's a conversation there of like, you shouldn't get anything. It's like, the fact of the matter is, like, you can be the smartest person at your field. You can be the best. Like, he's right. Like, I've seen people, whether it's in sports or anything, going like, fuck, man. Or I've seen singers. I've seen, people play basketball. I've seen where I'm like, oh my God, like, you're insane. Yep. They just weren't seen by the right people, and it's like, there is something to be said for that. It's like, there is absolutely a component of luck and being at the right place in the right time and knowing the right people at the right time. But I wish that he would have sort of like, and I think it's implied, and maybe like most intellectual people will understand that it's like, it's an and, not a instead of. Yeah. Right. And so,
and you know what, truth be told, right? I mean, you talked in the beginning about the 30-second clips. I'm also a prisoner to that in this situation too, because I didn't listen to the whole interview. So maybe some of that was said, you know, listening to the 30-second clip of Anthony Mackie versus the entire podcast. So I have not heard it all, and I'm assuming they probably went into that. I'm assuming, you know, Ryan Clark and gang,
yeah, of course,
probably talked about that too. But you know, it's funny, man. It brought me to like my own kids, right? So my boys are senior. Two of my boys are seniors in high school, and they're about to go into college. And one of them,
I about to have two adults, man.
Yeah,
in a week, man. Really,
yeah, brother, yeah. So one of the things that I always talk to them about is like, hey, man, when you go to college or you go to your secondary schools, like, make sure that you're paying attention in your classes and trying to learn as much as possible, but also make sure that you are stepping outside of your comfort zone and meeting people that you would not normally hang out with, right? Like, we're very tribal, and we always look for people that fucking look like us, that sound like us, that dress like us, right? That like the same things that we do, and that's great. You're always gonna find those people, but it's really the other people outside of that you wouldn't normally hang out with that may give you an opportunity later on in life that maybe you didn't have.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, it's surrounding yourself with people who are from different walks of life who have, like, it's funny, man. I do this a lot. Like, I used to hire a lot of people, and I do this a ton. And it comes from a place of like, I'm generally self-aware about things that I'm not good at. And one of the things I would always do is like, I didn't want to hire people who had either the same skill set that I had or who thought the same way that I did. Like, I would almost, it was like I would almost put more points towards someone on an interview if they disagreed with something I said or they had a different viewpoint, because it's like, oh, I know how I think, I know how I feel. I want a different perspective, and it's good, I think, to surround yourself with people like that, because there's been a lot of times where I have like changed my mind, right? Because someone has given me a different perspective and they've given me why, and you know, and it's been proven out, like, at least in my eyes, where I'm like, oh shit, I never thought of it from that angle, and
right.
So I think that's a great lesson to tell your kids. It's like, hey, don't just seek affirmation, like, seek information. You know, it's like, just surround yourself with people who know different things, not
Right.
better, not, you know, are smart. Yeah, you should be I always, you know, I try to tell my kids, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Like, try to surround yourself with people who you think are intelligent, who know something you don't know, who, you know, like, definitely.
Yeah, people that can challenge you and like inform you, challenge you, push you.
Yeah, again, it goes back to, I think I have, in my personal life, been given so many opportunities because I was in rooms of people that maybe I wouldn't be friends with. Maybe I wouldn't go have a drink with, like, on a personal level. Maybe I wouldn't hang out with, but I understood that they knew something I didn't know. I understood that they were smart at very specific things. You know, and my ego, and I can have like a big ego. Like, I know that about myself, right? Like, but I knew enough to know what I didn't know. And so, like, knowing, like, hey, this person knows something I don't know, and talking and asking questions and being curious and doing that sort of thing. And I think curiosity is a big thing that that will get you a long ways. Is like, you talk to people and then you just seem curious in what they do. I think people will remember that, and they'll be like, oh, I know, you know. So yeah, I think I say that to say, like, that he's right. It's like, you have to make these connections with people, no matter how you make them, and then the hard work sort of paired with that gets you these opportunities, man.
Yeah, and maybe that was the lie, right? Where the lie that he was talking about was, hey,
just
you
work hard,
just work hard, and yeah, it's not just that. And dude, you know, it made me think of too, bro. Is like, I've been doing this like work remotely stuff.
Yeah,
for 7 years almost.
Okay,
coming up on 7 years. There is, and then maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, the way that I'm feeling, but there is like, almost like, what I feel is a growing disconnect with the people that I work with. Like, even as time goes on, and there's people that leave and new folks that come in, there is something to being face to face and being in the same room.
Absolutely.
And the camaraderie that you develop. Not saying that we don't have good camaraderie.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I don't see you on a regular basis,
It's easy to forget about you.
It's right, bro.
And do you think that
or if I never even really meet you face to face,
is there an age difference in like who you feel like you can connect with, or it doesn't matter? It's across the board.
I wouldn't say an age difference.
Like, do you find it more difficult to connect with younger or older, or
No. I think it's just more of a personality.
Just in general. Okay,
yeah, more personality thing. But I feel like if we're in the same place, there I don't know, man, and I can't really put my finger on exactly what it is, but there is something to the whole face to face thing that I don't object to remote work. But I think there should be something where you go, yo, you know what? 4 times a year, I want the team in the office for a week.
Yeah. No, there's
you know what I mean? Like is like you need that, man. You need that, and I feel like even the place where I work now, we're getting away from that.
Yeah,
because of expenses.
There
right?
is and just going back to the place you work now, I know, like in my personal life, people are probably sick of hearing. I've worked there as well.
Yeah,
and so people are probably sick of hearing that. I think what I've learned over time as I've gotten older, and I've been gone for, God, 8 years now, or almost 7.5, almost 8. Yeah, it's that what we had at that place was rare, and it was really down to the people. Like the people there were so close, and we spent a lot of time. And like talking about like who it was like you made great relationships there, and you talk, and there's a lot of like I am, and I think we all are. There's certain people that you meet, and you're like, I would never talk to that person. I'm not gonna, right? And then sort of work forces you to spend more time with people with different mindsets, different personalities, different interests, and then you make friends with people where you're like, oh fuck, I wouldn't have given that person a chance if I just met them on a whim.
Yeah.
But because I've spoken to them, a little bit at length, and at work or whatever it was, it's like, and you find out like, oh, they're kind of cool. I get along, and for me, I really like talking to people who don't. Like, obviously, we all want to hang out with people who are sort of have same interests, at the same interests as us, and do that, right? Like there's definitely like a chemistry that you have to have with somebody so you can like shoot the shit and bust balls and do all that stuff. But there's also like something of like hanging out with somebody who does the total opposite of shit that you do, who has like interests and things that you would have never thought that anyone would have interest in. There's something fascinating about that just opens sort of your mind to like other things that I think it's cool. Like I love hearing, like whenever you hear like some weird fucking person who's like, I collect rocks, and I'm like, tell me more. Like, it's like that. There's something so fascinating about shit like that where I'm just like, I love people who aren't afraid to sort of like, march to their own drum, like to their own beat or whatever, like it's like, I like that. And then it's like, tell me why.
Yeah.
And, tell me how you got into that. And you're always going to find some interesting shit. And that's not to say that you guys are going to be best friends, but you're going to learn something for sure.
Yeah.
From that
you know who's great at that, bro? The military.
Yeah, dude. I remember you saying about like how you get paired up with people who you would never hang out with.
Well, it's not even just getting paired up with, man. It's that we got to remember, man, when you go into boot camp, everybody's head is shaved. So other than the color of your skin, right? And maybe your general look, right? Like we're all like, no one has any hair. We're all wearing the same uniform. We're all this. It's not until you actually get out, and then like once you're done with basic training, and then you're able to go out with your fellow, like for me, like my fellow Marines, and then you start to see like, oh shit, man, like you're like country dude.
Yeah.
And like you're this, and you're, like you're the, and it's like these, again, like you just said, it's these people who you go, fuck, man, I would have never even given you a chance. You're not part of my tribe.
You're not part of my tribe, my clique,
right?
My thing. Maybe I would have even made fun of you. Maybe, I'm guilty of this, man. Where like I've hung out with people where I'm like, I put in a scenario where I was forced to kind of be around people that I probably would normally not be around, and they wound up becoming people that I hung out with the most. Yeah, it's I think that expanding, I wish, like I understand what he's saying, like going back to the Anthony Mackie thing. And so like relationship building and getting in with the right people is important. But the only thing I wish, and again, maybe he's going like intellectually, you guys should understand that I mean this as an
Yep.
not instead of, but of
and like
course,
I said, perhaps he did get into that.
yeah,
right?
you're right. But I think in this era of and it's like you can't blame him because it's like we're in this era of the clip, the 30-second clip goes viral. And so, and the whole conversation was very different from what he was sort of like, what people, I guess, assume what it was like, based on that clip. So, but it was like the thing making headlines. It was crazy. And it's like, I mean, we all know that. Again, it's like who not
I think
what
it's just kind of the way that he said it.
Yeah.
Right. But all right, here's the other one, Brandon. The other one was
and this is my thing. I think that I felt very strongly about this week, and I feel like I have a lot of personal like feelings towards this specifically.
All right, let me hit it.
Go ahead. Go.
All right, let's see. Hold on.
I keep my boys humble. Like my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. My boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like your kids. And no, I don't give a I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. Mm-hmm. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out. Mm-hmm. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities, for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open a door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. Mm. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up. I love that. Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
Yeah. That was something, man, when I saw that clip this week.
Yeah.
And he's not the first person to talk about this. I think what happens is a lot of the conversation comes from what I'm going to call like the Manosphere podcast. It's like the dudes who are the representatives of the movement who shouldn't be the representatives of the movement, right? And I think it resonated with me personally because I agree with a lot of the shit that he's saying about the masculinity part.
Oh yeah.
I disagree maybe on the approach. Like, I'll give you an example. Like he was talking about like, hey, when I leave, my son is the man of the house.
Right.
And I'm not saying he's wrong. It's just like my approach has been, I used to think that I have an 11-year-old son. And the approach that I've taken is more of like, you're 11, you're a kid. I want you to enjoy being a kid.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to say, hey, you're the man of the house, because I don't want him to feel that sort of pressure as an 11-year-old. I want you to feel what it's like to be an 11-year-old, to be a kid.
Yeah.
I look at him more as like, I am preparing you to be a man one day. Right. And so like, I talk to him about, hey, what that entails. And that could be a lot of what like people would call like old school, like mentality. Right. And so, I agree with everything else. Like, I talk to my son about like, hey, you open doors and you make sure that they're protected. And I always tell him like, we're here and you should be protecting the women and you elderly and children and, and I do that for him. It's like, yeah, you open the doors. Yes, you walk on the side of the street where the cars or where the danger can be. Like, and that means maybe you're changing back and forth and it's annoying to you and, just shit like that. It's like, and I have always sort of instilled that in my son. And so I understand what he's saying. And I understand what he's saying about like the sort of the death of the American male. And then it almost seems like a over exaggeration to some people. And I understand what he means. It's like the last decade or so, it feels like people have been like, if you're sort of like a quote unquote traditional person,
right,
it's been like shitted on forever. It's like you've been made to feel bad, and that's where I resonated with it.
Also with women, right? Like women.
No, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up.
Traditional women,
yes,
get the same shit.
So there's a whole thing now called trad wife. It's like a trend. It's like trad wife.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. We and we can get into this. It's like, dude, I find myself personally like apologizing for being like, almost like, I don't want to call it chivalrous because I don't want to give myself that much credit, but like for feeling like I'm being controlling or being trying to be, I don't want to call it masculine because I don't know, it feels icky to me to say that. But it's
like, are you I don't know, are you opening doors for ladies, right? Are you ordering for them at dinner?
Yes.
Are you are you picking them up? You know, are you sending a car for them? Or are you picking them up? You know, those kind of things, right?
And I think the current like generation we're in and sort of the sort of like the trend that we're in has made you feel like you're in the wrong for doing that sort of thing. And I think it's like anything else, like we tend to overcorrect as a society, right? Like when it became like where women was like, hey, we wanted equal rights, we wanted to get in the workforce, we wanted to do all this. It's like, yes, like, yeah, that should absolutely happen. And what it was like a trade-off of like, yep, that happens, but guess what? Now women should be masculine too. And you know, and then there was this whole like independent women movement and all that stuff. And that's great. Like women should be able to have like the same jobs and make the same amount of money and all this stuff. Like that part I think makes sense. What happened is like we sort of removed ourselves from like we did become, so like men became kind of pussies for the lack of a better word. It was like almost like you got made to feel shitty if you were a man who wanted to be like, nah, I got this. Like you do, you know, whatever it is, it's like, I'll protect this household. I can provide for us. I can do that shit. Like, and it was like, you were made to feel like you were some like fucking sexist guy. If you thought that way, it's like, no, not at all. Like, I want you to do things that make you happy, but also like as a man, and in my mind, I've always felt like, I don't even want to call it old school, but like I take pride in being like, no, I want to take care of my people. Like I want to, yeah. And so like, I found myself I catch myself doing this as like almost apologizing for like defaulting to like what is in my natural nature to be like what he was saying. Be like, yeah, like no, like I want to take care of this.
I want to protect. I want to provide.
It's like that's my default. I don't know how else to be, but it was like everything that I was watching, social media
DNA, bro.
trained me to be. Yeah, it absolutely is in our DNA, bro. At least for most dudes, right? And it's like, and for some dudes, maybe growing up in this era now, it's sort of like reprogrammed them to be kind of bitch. Dude, I'll take it a step further. Like, I'm glad you brought up the women thing. It was like, obviously, we know like divorce rates are like 75% or whatever marriage. It's really fucking high. Also, women tend to initiate like divorce more than men. That's always been a thing. It's almost like 80% or something like that.
Women
of divorces, yeah, fucking are initiated by women.
Yeah.
The most like recent trend is like women who are breadwinners and who are successful and who are initiating divorces because. And the excuse has been, or not the excuse, because it sounds like you're downplaying, but the reasoning has been like, well, I do everything. I make the money and I do all this other stuff. And what studies have shown is like, yeah, like you got to enter the workforce and maybe now you're executive or you're a CEO, you're whatever. And it's like, I think what was happening is like women thought, oh, we'll enter the workforce and we'll do this. And that means that we sort of get to share the responsibilities at home. But what was happening is like, in reality, it was like, nah, you work 60, 70 hours a week and now you got to go home and cook. And now you got to go home and take care of your kid. And now you got to go home. And it's like, there's all these crazy studies now that show like most women are picking divorce because of that, because they're going, well, I got to do fucking everything.
Do it anyway.
Like, why do I need somebody? And it's fair, but it's also against our, I don't want to call it against our DNA because it sounds fucking sexist, but it's like, I think it goes against even women's natural inclination to be like, I want to be taken care of. Like, and I want to be with someone who like, that doesn't mean I have to make less money than them. That just means that they have to feel sort of like free to just be like, I got everything else. And I think there has been, I agree with him, there has been this like weird movement in the last couple of years where you're almost made to feel like sexist or like fucking shitty for being like, no, I want to take on these like quote unquote traditional roles of being a male. And bro, like by and large, it's fucking worked for humanity for thousands of years, right? Like like males have been hunter gatherers and all that shit for since the beginning of time, right? And women have played a certain role at the beginning of time. I'm not saying that means women have to be barefoot and pregnant. I'm saying there's a balance to those roles that have worked for a very long time. And if you want to take it into the traditional part, I think a lot of women want to feel that, but and want to feel taken care of and want to feel like their man has sort of like this I don't know, this group of things sort of like under control that they can take over. But society now has made I think men and women feel shitty about feeling like that, right? Like if a woman feels like, I want my man to take care of that, it's almost like society tells you like, oh, but then you're not this independent woman, and you're just like, yeah. It's like on all fronts, we're all made to feel like we're not enough. Like, dude, we were talking about Andrew Schultz last week. I think one of the things that stood out, like when we were talking about the Schultz thing last week, one of the things that it made me think of is like, if you're a woman and you want to be just a mom, society like sort of like frowns upon you.
Because his wife, right? His wife has like an MBA. His wife is like
a stay-at-home mom, MBA, all that stuff. And
no,
it's like,
but she has an MBA, and she was working for Google on some like AI shit, and then
very successful, right. You know, like and it's like society now. If you're a woman and you're like, I just want to be a mom, it's almost like women just be like, it's almost like downplayed, right. Where it's like not just being a stay-at-home mom, and that it's a fucking job, bro. Yeah, it's a full-time job. I would argue it's the most important job. It's like you're raising a human being who is either going to be a piece of shit or who's going to be a contributing member to society, and there's no bigger pressure than that, like in the world, right? Like, bro, if your kids ended up being like the fucking terrible human beings, that's very like a tough pill to swallow. It's the hardest fucking job you're gonna have, right? It's like raising human beings. So like, I just want you to be like good members of society. And if you're a fucking serial killer, that's on me, right? Like,
right.
So if you're like a stay-at-home mom and you're raising kids and you're taking care of the home and you're doing that whole night, and it's almost like you're meant to feel shame now if that's what you want. It's like, and I feel bad because there's like this weird pressure now of like, oh, you have to want to be this successful like woman, and it's almost like you must not be capable of, even though there's like women who are so smart and they're so capable, and so and it's like, but if you're like, I just want to raise my kids and I want to be around for them, and I want to take care of the home and I want to do that, and I'm in a position where like the husband can allow that to happen, you're like shamed for it now. Like you'll see women almost downplay, like how many stay-at-home women be like, oh, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, or like, oh, I just like, you even hear how they talk about it, and you're just like,
that right there, bro. I've heard that verbatim.
It's like, I and again, that's not to knock the opposite side of that, right? Because if you're a woman and you have kids and you work a full-time job and you're super successful in your stuff, like fucking awesome. That's
good
great
for you.
It's good for you. But I do think, you know, and again, I feel like in my personal life, I've gotten almost apologetic about my demeanor, about like maybe I've been more traditional, and that's not the like, hey, you should be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant. But I like, for me personally, there's a role that I take on that I have to fight to go against that, and it's almost more stressful to feel like, oh, let me not be me so that you're not upset, or that I don't feel like shame, you know, like because fucking TikTok tells me I should be, you know. It's like it's really bizarre, man. So I agree with him in that sentiment of like, I'm trying to raise young men, because I look at this with my son all the time. I tell my son like, yeah, you hold the door, yes, like, yeah, you know, there's a vulnerable portion of society that you should be proud to be able to help protect and take on, and be in a position where you can take on certain jobs, and you know, like so I agree with him with that sentiment. Like the other stuff, listen, everybody has their own sort of parenting styles and all that, and I can't knock that. It's just like different for me. Like he's like, oh, my kids don't have Jordan. It's like, my kids do. Like I get that. Oh, my kids don't. You know, like he has to be the man of the house. Like, no, I want my son to be a kid first. Like, I get it. But I always tell him, hey, one day you're gonna be a young man, and being a man entails this. And right or wrong, it's just what I believe and what I think he should do. And it's like, I want him to sort of be someone that people can look to for that protection, for like providing for. Like, I just want him to be capable. It doesn't mean he has to be that, but I want him to be capable of being that.
And you know, it's funny, man, with mine, I mean, I have three, right? I have three boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I look to each one of them for different things. Like they all kind of have strengths in different areas. And so, there is one that's like maybe is like really responsible. And then there's one that if I need somebody to get like a bloody nose, like that's the one that's gonna go do it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope.
And so like
you got the whole clan ready.
Like, they're all different, man. And so where he mentions like he has one like he wanted to get one right because that one's gonna sort of pass it down to the other ones. I think that
usually the oldest, yeah,
it's usually the oldest. I think that with mine, it's almost like they all have these strengths, and I sort of pull on them based on what strengths they have to sort of be responsible for certain things.
And I thought about you, like when I was thinking about this, because you have 3 boys, right? You're again a quote unquote traditional man, and there's like this whole term online. I was like trad wife. It's like anyone who wants to be like a
stay at home mom,
and that doesn't even have to be stay at home. But it's like if you want to be a mom who's like, hey, I want to take care of the home. And that means like my kids. That means like I want to take care of my husband. It's like there's a whole term. It's like trad wife.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's really bizarre. I mean, I get it, but it's like become this trend. And I guarantee you, what's gonna happen is we're gonna like, we tend to overcorrect. It's like, yeah, there was this whole traditional wife thing, and then we went total opposite, where it was like, no, women wanted to be like be able to be independent women and do everything on their own, and that. And I think the fucking balance in that probably lies somewhere in the middle. And it's where we're sort of like working our way now, where it's like, hey, both people should like do something. And then we're going to end up back at the whole like, oh, men are going to, like we're going to overcorrect in each direction every time because that's just what we do.
That's what we do.
That's just what we do. But it's really bizarre when like I hear that's like, oh, trad wife. I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, you mean wife?
You mean wife? Yeah.
But divorce rates have never been higher. Like they keep climbing. Like I think, you get this this dynamic, I think, amongst relationships that is very like one-sided in either direction, right? If you're a woman, it can be very one-sided for you. If you're successful, if you're a man, it's very one-sided for you. Like if you're a man who's successful, it's very difficult to justify getting married. Right. Like in a lot of scenarios. Right. But so then you want someone who's like, yeah, but this person sort of offsets the shit that I'm not good at, offsets the things that I can't get to, offsets like we're a true partnership. Right. And I think that's where you ultimately want to end up. And so what happens is like there was this weird thing now where it was like had to be all the way left or all the way right. There wasn't like an in between. And hopefully we find ourselves like somewhere in the middle there. But like, I think that we're sort of seeing the pendulum swing now back in the other direction. And I don't know, man. I hear what he's saying. I know he's gotten pushback and a lot of people have gotten stuff from that. And I hope that like we can look at it and just like in general go like, hey, mankind has survived for fucking millions of years based on the quote unquote trad sort of like way of doing things.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough data to go that the I guess that the customs today don't work, right? Like this could just be me being fucking ignorant and stuck in my ways, right?
You know what's funny, man? He had this what was he on
The Pivot?
No, he was on another show years ago.
It was
yes.
What's her name?
No, it was the fuck, man, radio host fucking extraordinaire for years. Black woman.
Oh, Wendy Williams?
Wendy Williams.
Yep.
He was on her show.
The Make Me a Sandwich?
Make Me a Sandwich thing, right?
We talked about that on here, right?
I'm pretty sure we did, man.
Yeah.
That was probably like 3-4 years ago.
I think I got shit for saying that I agree with what he said too.
No, but to that point of masculinity, right? Where he goes like, yeah, like I want my woman, if I ask her to make me a sandwich, make me a sandwich. And then the point that he used at the time was like, yo, if somebody talks sideways to you in the street, you want me to stand up for you, right? And then she was like, yeah, of course. And then he's like, so you make me a sandwich when I want a sandwich.
Nah,
like,
say what he said, because he
make daddy
a sandwich. Yeah. Fucking, and I go, I agree.
Yeah.
He's not fucking wrong. Again, if we're out in public and someone gets sideways with your girl, you're gonna have to check them. And that means you gotta be willing to get stabbed, shot, or you gotta be willing to stab or shot, or you gotta, like it's like
right.
And I'm like, yo, I gladly take on that, like,
absolutely,
bro. But it's like he's right. It's like, yo, for that, If I go, hey, can you make me a sandwich? You gotta make me a sandwich. Like, I don't disagree with the sentiment because it's like, hey, I'm taking on this other shit that is I'm going, yo, if shit gets violent, if shit gets crazy, if shit gets dangerous, and like and that's where like I think of like for myself, I go, I fully expect I want all the smoke. Right. But then I go on the flip side of that, I go, if I say, hey, like, do you mind making me a sandwich? I expect it to be done because I go, yo, if somebody breaks into this bitch, guess who's about to wall out?
Yeah.
Me. And I might die.
I might die, but
I'm making sure you guys get out. You know what I mean? So it's like, and in exchange, I just want a sandwich. He's not wrong.
All right, man,
it's
so-
weird, man. Hopefully we find ourselves like, I think there's shit like that's it's like, it comes off sexist and like it's so nuanced, it's so layered, it's so weird. And I think when I heard the clip, it made me think of myself a lot because I, in my personal life, find myself apologizing almost for like being that way.
Yeah.
And like I'm almost like sick of it.
No.
Yeah, I'm like sick of it because I don't feel like I'm in. It's not to say that I don't feel like I'm in the wrong. I feel like the trade-off that I'm willing to like sort of give is worthwhile, like for both sides, right? And so like, and then I'm like, and if it's not, then like I want to have the conversation. But it's like I feel like I go like, yeah, I want this. But in return, like, this is what I'm willing to do. So,
right.
It's not that I'm, like, saying, hey, do that, and that's it. It's like, do that because I'll do this. And I think that's where it lies in, is balance. And for some reason, somewhere along the way, it's like we lost this, like, hey, every relationship is an exchange of I don't want to call it power, but
it's like an exchange of services.
Of services. Yeah, that's a perfect way to do it. It's like an exchange of services. And it's like, hey, in exchange for like submissiveness and all this stuff, like I'll fucking burn the village down or be willing to burn down with the village so that it's like
right.
that. And so somewhere along the way that got lost. And not every guy's like that. I get it. But I think like a lot of guys have been made to feel like shitty for feeling like that or feeling.
But also, like we talked about it with the women's side, right? It's like sometimes society putting the pressure on women of just like, yo, you have to be independent and you have to make your own money and you have to do this, right? And it's like, if you don't want to do that, and if you want to do the traditional woman's role of sort of being the nurturer and the carer and the raiser of your children, like there is absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No,
if it works for you and your relationship.
Yeah, dude, I would as a guy, I'm like, I would love the sort of dynamic where it's like my natural inclination is to like work hard and do stuff and try to make money and do like I'm like I will do anything to be able to like provide. And it's like the ideal partner would be like, hey, if you wanted like, yeah, if you have your own career, it's like awesome. But if you told me like, hey, I really just want to be there for my kids and do this and raise that and I'll take care of everything that has to do with the house and all that stuff.
Right.
And it's like, if you can just make sure that lifestyle for us can be to this certain like level,
right?
I embrace that because I'm like, yeah, fuck, I got that. Like I can do that. And for me, like the trade-off becomes, oh, I'm going to do all this, but when I come home, like this person is going to offset this. And like I obviously there's all this other shit that comes with a relationship, but I think the exchange of services becomes a, man, I don't have to worry about this stuff. I know my kids are in good hands. I know the house is in good hands. Like yes, like do that. And then dude, there's a reason why that has worked for fucking millennia.
Yeah. And
there's a reason why mankind has survived for fucking millions of years under that sort of dynamic. And then you're seeing, and listen, it's too early to tell. We'll survive another million years with the current state of things. That's not to say that we're going to go fucking extinct because of how we think now. But
no, it'll change at some point.
Yeah. And divorce rates are higher and higher. Right. And again, that comes from both like mostly women. Right. And, because again, I think women thought, hey, we'll get back into, we'll get into the workforce. We'll become educated. We'll do all this stuff. And I think they thought that the trade-off would be, but when we go home, it's going to be 50-50. And that just didn't happen. And that's, listen, shame on us. But it's like, I think that didn't happen. And what it became is like women went like, well, fuck, now I have a career and all this stuff and I have to work hard, but I have to go home and work equally as hard.
Yeah.
So the fuck did I get myself into when I could have just, done that? And there's something to be said for that. Again, I don't know. It's not to say like, oh, y'all should all stay home, but it's like there should be a balance in there somewhere between both parties. Yeah.
All right, man. I went really fucking long.
Yeah.
On that shit. But shout out to Anthony Mackie for, giving us food for thought, man.
Yeah. I think food for thought, and also like on a topic that I think most people are afraid to touch right now. And it seems like the pendulum is swinging in a lot of ways towards where we're willing to open dialogue for a lot of things right now that maybe in the last like 10 years we've been like, yeah, I'm staying away from that. Like, fuck that. Yeah. So, yeah, I the comfort to him for me was like, oh, it's a conversation that should be had right now in general. It wasn't necessarily like he's not going to change the world, but he's in a position right now, especially being given sort of the Captain America role and a big like, kids are going to watch the new Marvel movies, like everybody. And so he's someone that sort of eyes are on him right now. And I think being willing, dude, he could just as easily lose the next.
Quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and get 5 more Captain America movies.
Dude, I never thought about that.
This could be like, bro, you're cool. We could go cast Michael B. Jordan and fill your slot and the world will move on, bro. So shut the fuck up. And so like I give him credit for being willing to sort of talk about something that's like unpopular.
Yeah.
Right now.
Those two things actually.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Good for him.
Bro, let me hit you up with this, man. Because this one this can't escape us this week.
Yeah.
There's a Houston one. What?
Just drink the wild.
Yeah.
I almost pulled my dick out.
Listen, man. There are no women here, and I ain't the one.
Fucking Henny, bro. Henny might as well be Viagra. God damn.
If I see that table lift up over there, bro, I'm gonna be fucking disturbed, bro. I'm
jacking up a Civic over there.
I'm leaving on site.
My apologies in advance.
All right, bro. There's a Houston woman that was charged, bro. She was charged with abuse of a corpse.
Wait, what?
Abuse of a corpse.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Tell me more. I'm in.
This woman's name is Amber Laudermilk.
Or wait, what? Say that last name one more time.
Laudermilk.
Okay.
So she is she works at a funeral home, and she's an embalmer.
Okay.
Okay. So there was a guy that she was embalming, I guess, with a student. And I guess at some point she found out that this guy was a convicted rapist.
Oh, the guy she was embalming.
Yes.
Okay.
So she stabs him twice.
Okay.
Cuts off his dick and shoves it in his mouth.
Shoves it in his own mouth?
In his own mouth.
I kind of respect it.
With the student. And then tells the student, you didn't see anything.
That bitch, I've been taking notes this whole time.
He's like, bitch, I got you on video. What are you talking about?
Look. Like you on my stories right now. Yo, fucking, bro.
I was on Instagram Live when he was doing that shit.
She missed the perfect opportunity to be like, well, when they're racist, when they're racist, racist. Damn.
When they're racist.
Rewind. When they're rapists and they come in, we shove their dick in their mouth. And he probably would have been like, cool, dick in mouth, rapist. He would have just wrote the note down.
Bro, I wonder if this guy was set to be cremated.
Oh.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, right. Like they're gonna shove him in an oven.
Right.
The dick's gonna be gone. No one's gonna know it's around the teeth. Like
so she's getting
dust is dust.
So she's getting charged, right? So get it, understand.
What is she being charged with?
Abuse of a corpse.
Okay. That's a thing?
I guess.
Okay, how much prison time is that?
Don't know.
Okay.
But I've thought about this, man, and I'm like, if you're already dead, are you still a person? And should you be and
not according to Republicans.
And even if you're alive,
in a heartbeat, dog. Remember, fucking what is it? At conception or whatever. I don't know. There's a fucking saying, but I know it has to have a heartbeat,
dude.
So
not really a person,
Not
bro.
really a person. It's like yeah, that's a good fucking point.
It is. Bro, like, should you get charged the same as doing that to an alive person? I'm kind of like, yeah, man, you're dead. I'm not saying you should be allowed to go and mutilate fucking corpses, right? I'm not saying that at all.
Nah, you don't think so?
But I'm just saying,
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm messed up.
No, but would you would if it was somebody that you loved?
No, of course, right? Like,
right?
So somebody you love, of course, I wouldn't want you to do some shit, but also I'm gonna handle that on the side. I don't need the law to get involved.
Like if the dude, what do you call those fucking people? There's the people that like to bang corpse.
Oh, the
I want to say narcolepsy.
Yeah, you're a necrophiliac.
Necrophiliac. That's it. That's the fucking thing.
Yeah, I almost lead to narcolepsy. That's a sleepy bitches, but you want dead bitches. You got necrophilia.
Wait a minute, are they kind of the same? Just saying.
Sleepy and dead. That's why y'all bitches gotta go to work. I take everything back. Anthony Mackie was wrong. Get to work because some of y'all sleepy. I'm going to hell.
Yeah,
or getting dumped.
Well, since you are going to hell, man, tell me about this fucking teacher gangbang.
Yo, I'm so glad you brought this up. I read this story and I couldn't fucking wait to talk about this shit on the pod, bro. There's this teacher. I have not heard about this. Oh my God, bro. There's this teacher. I gotta get the fucking the city right, the city right. Sorry. There was this teacher. She from Indiana. She's being accused of asking 3 underage students to perform a gangbang with her, right? So, teacher.
Okay. Give me.
She's 31 years old. Her name is Brittany Fortenberry, which I feel like is an appropriate name for someone who's asking teenagers to fuck her. It's so on brand.
I was just thinking, like, is that her stage name or what?
Yeah. So she was like there was one student who was like, oh, she would always make me food and anything I wanted, and she would give me stuff including vapes, weed, and THC carts, which I'm guessing is for yeah. And so she would allegedly drug this kid and his friends with mushrooms before telling them that they had to feel her up and touch her and do shit to her and all that. Yeah. Also, bro, this bitch would get them weed and shrooms and all kinds of drugs and get them all high and fucked up and then say, you gotta gangbang me. Which none of my teachers cared about me because none of them asked me to do this
shit like that. Never happens.
Yeah, my teacher didn't give a fuck about me, bro.
I wish I had a hat on. I'm gonna throw that shit right now.
Gave me fucking FCAT review pages. Like, fuck y'all. I was a good looking kid. Fuck y'all. It's better.
Didn't none of y'all want to do me?
None of y'all want to do me. Except I know one teacher that definitely wanted to do me. We might have to talk about that on a pod one day.
Was that a guy or a girl?
No, she was a girl.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she would, bro. This teacher would wear fucking short skirts, mini skirts, and would sit on our desk with her legs crossed, with her shit all the way up. It was wild. Anyway, I'm not gonna use her name because she knows who she is. She was Filipino. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But this bitch ain't give a fuck. Anyway, but this teacher was doing this shit. She was fucking these kids, giving them shrooms. And then the caveat, if you wanted to participate in the gangbang, you had to be wearing a scream mask.
Like scream mask?
Face. Yeah. That's kind of wild. I like this bitch already.
I was going to say, man, this is fucking creative, bro. So she wouldn't have to look at any of their faces.
It would just be like, obviously she clearly has some crazy fucking like fetishes and some weird disorder. Yeah. And then somewhere, I'm with it. She wanted all these kids to be wearing scream masks.
You know what's so fucked up, bro? I'm just like, like you said, you have these crazy fetishes and whatever, man. And if you get one person to agree to doing this shit, dude, that has to just set it off for you. Where you just go like, oh, like, that person did it? Like, who else is down?
These kids are like 13, though.
Well, wait a minute, though. That's 8th grade, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Wait a minute. I'm thinking back.
Nah, some of them were.
Yeah,
trying
man.
To get
like
full ages. Like,
dudes was fucking that in 8th grade.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
if it's girls, right? Then yeah,
it's weird because we're pieces of shit.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah, I
if I hear this from my son, I'm probably a little upset.
No,
But then I think about me at 13, 14, and I'm like, let's go.
Like,
I'm like, bitch, give me every mask. You want me to be Freddy Krueger tomorrow? I come in this bitch dressed like
bitch, I'll be Chucky. I don't give a fuck.
I'll be Timothy McVeigh tomorrow.
Bro, and she's getting them high and shit, man. So
saying, you gonna give me shrooms? You gonna give me shrooms, a blowjob, I'm gonna get laid, and I can wear a scream mask. Like, this shit sound like fun. It sound like the best Halloween ever.
Yeah.
Fucking
And you don't even know that I'm actually the one fucking.
That's how I know all these bitches was like every kid left behind. They didn't give a fuck about me. Every teacher I ever had, Steppy came up. You know who didn't touch my dick? Not a single teacher. Fuck y'all. All of y'all kept me afterwards, gave me speeches, told me about how, quote unquote, much potential I had. None of you try to take my dick out. I hate y'all.
That's all we really wanted.
Except one.
Which one was it? The foster mom that had her kid?
I was trying to think about if I could use this lady's name and not get her.
No, don't do it, bro. Don't do it. Let it go. Let it go.
Fine.
It's a long time ago. She probably a fucking principal somewhere.
Oh my God. Yeah, she a principal. She got like 4 kids. All that. Yeah, you right. I wonder who her husband is now. He probably my age. She 57. Oh man.
I don't know if you guys seen this story about this foster mom that sat on her kid.
Yo, this shit was wild,
bro. I just read the headline. I didn't see the details on it. Do you know the details?
No, I know she was a foster mom, and she was like sitting on this kid to like teach him a lesson.
Yeah,
it was like,
but she was like really overweight.
Acting bad. She's 340 pounds. Yeah, that's a little heavy. A little heavy. This is
that's a lot of heavy. Bro.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice, but that bitch is fat.
What's the show? It ain't my 384
life.
Is it 400 pounds?
300. This is mad specific. My 347 pound life. That's specific as fuck.
Yeah, right.
I think it's like about 500 pound or whatever. My 500 pound life, 600 pound life, some shit. I know what you're talking about. Every time I watch that show, I get infuriated, bro. But the doctor makes me laugh my ass off because that motherfucker be like, bitch, you fat. or they'll be like, I don't know what's happening. He's like, you're not following the diet plan. And then, they'll cut to some scene where this chick is ordering like the whole left side of the menu at Taco Bell and 14 pizzas at Pizza Hut. And he'll be like,
and a Diet Coke.
Yeah. And they'll be like, I don't know what's happening. I'm doing exactly what you told me. And this motherfucker will be like, are you though? This motherfucker's great. Anyway, she got sentenced to 6 years in prison, bro, because a 10-year-old boy died from being sat on because she said he was acting bad, so she just sat on him.
Bro, how long did you sit on this motherfucker?
Yo, I think it's
and you was covering everything.
Yo, and that bitch is 48. Yo, shout out to her for living till 48 at 348 pounds. This bitch is a survivor, yo. You know how many 348 pounds, 48-year-olds I know? Not none.
You just almost killed me right there.
Bitch, you 340 pounds?
I almost choked.
You half of that. This bitch,
holy shit, bro.
340 pounds, 48 years old, which is impressive in itself. So I'm like, bitch, your cardio is on point. I gotta give you credit for that.
That's a fucking leprechaun, bro.
However, you shouldn't be sitting on these kids and to sit on a 10-year-old boy and fucking kill him because
it's insane.
Is insane because a 10-year-old boy is probably strong enough to at least push you off and put up a decent fight. Unless he's up against something 4 times heavier than he is. Or 5, probably.
Holy shit, bro.
Oh, my God, bro. You imagine, like...
Dude, is that something
what a shame. And I know we're fucking making light of this.
And it's not
terrible
even...
because a 10-year-old kid died, but, like...
Dude, I guess, like, if
our
you...
foster system sucks.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But if you're a foster parent, like, do you just not really give a fuck about these kids? And I'm sure it's not for everybody. It's not everybody, right? But I'm sure there's some that do.
I'm gonna take it a step further. Where's the orphanage in Orlando, dog?
No idea.
Yeah, no one knows, bro. I don't even know if there is one. No one knows where the fuck an orphanage is anywhere. I challenge anyone who's listening to this podcast to tell me where the orphanage is. Drop it in the comments. Fucking whatever we leave it in your city. Where's the fucking orphanage? No one knows where that shit is, bro. We don't give a fuck about these kids.
We can't volunteer or nothing.
Nope. I guarantee you everybody knows where the pound is.
Yep. I know of two.
You know where the pound is, right? We care more about puppies than we care about these fucking foster kids.
Fuck, man, you right, bro.
We be like, the pit bulls, they can't kill them.
I can take them. I can take them back. His mom was
a crackhead.
I can take the dog back if I don't like it.
I get a refund on it. You gotta start offering refunds on these foster kids, bro.
Oh my God, bro.
I know people who foster their kids for tax reasons or for monetary reasons, and then some people who do it out of the goodness of their heart. I do know people who foster kids.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But I also know people who foster kids, and they say it's out of the goodness of their heart. But I know these people, and I'm pretty sure it's not. But at least they don't subject their kids to like, yo, I'm gonna sit on you if you misbehave today. Like, I do know that. So I'm like, there's levels to this shit.
I guess sitting on you is only a threat if you are that big or if you are a really big person.
I don't know, bro. You think you can sit on your boys? Your smallest boy. You think you can sit on him and be
kill him?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No. He could squirm his way out. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretty sure he could fucking squirm his way out of being sat on by me.
I don't know if to take that as like this fucking kid is malnutrition. Or that bitch is just that big.
He might be.
He might.
It's a twofold.
Like, I don't know.
Oh fuck, bro.
It's fucked up. It is fucked up, man. I feel a fucking 10-year-old died, bro. But like, I think it does bring to light the kind of people that we allow to sort of sign up for the foster system. But maybe it's so overrun with shit, and you need resources that we just don't give a fuck. Like And
listen, there's people that do shit for money too, right? Like if that person doesn't really have a job but is getting paid to being a foster parent, like, maybe that there's that too.
Yeah. Would you rather be the foster kid getting sat on, or the foster kid being at the home with the lady who gives you shrooms and asks you to fuck her?
Fucking ding, 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 motherfucker. Sign me up.
Sit on you. That wasn't clear. Yo, what if you have a fetish?
I'm thinking about signing up right now for that.
You know how some dudes got a fetish for fat bitches?
Is that a thing?
Yo, yeah, it is.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, of course. There's a thing. Yeah, dude, there's a thing for everything. Thing for everything. There's a thing for everything. So it's like, if you had to pick which scenario you would want to be in, the one again, you had to fight off this chick who wants to sit on you every other day, or she's like, yo, I'm gonna give you shrooms, weed, a good time. I might blow you a little, and then I'm gonna force you to fuck me with a scream mask on with your friends. Which one are you picking?
Dude.
I'm gonna be like,
lady should get a
bitch,
medal.
can I be Michael Myers? I got ideas. I'll play the theme music and everything.
Let me help you.
Let me lean into the fetish.
All right, boy, let's switch gears, man. What the fuck we got on here, dude?
Yo, how we go from that to you about to bring up some wholesome shit?
Yep. No, we can't. No, fuck it. Let's.
I need more debauchery.
Good. Talk to me about this fucking the woman passing the driver's test.
Yo, this bitch. I don't want to get it wrong, but it's some Asian country, of course. But she's taking her driver's test a shit ton of time, and she finally passed it. So she sets the world record for passing the driving test on this attempt.
Okay, world record because it's a lot, I'm assuming?
It's a lot. So how many attempts do you think it took her to pass her driving test? I just want, mind you, world record attempt.
Fuck, 100. I mean, it can't be. Fuck, no way, bro. It can't be low.
960. Now,
Keeping
where
track.
do you think she's from?
I have no idea.
No?
You said an Asian country.
Ah, I did already. Fuck. Damn it.
So it has to
that
be.
was the Henny talking. I forgot.
You said Asian. Which one is it?
Fucking Korea.
North or
South Korea.
South Korea.
Yeah, we know we want to hear about it in North Korea.
No,
Yeah.
they're all perfect.
Oh, this bitch pass it on the 0.14. She didn't even take it.
960 times, bro.
Bro, this bitch took her first attempt. I gotta get this. Her journey began in April of 2005 when she took the written test for the first time and failed. Undeterred, she continued to retake the test every day, 5 days a week for 3 years.
Get
the written test.
Fuck out.
So that means this bitch couldn't even pass the written test. Like, you know how retarded? You think maybe she was getting fucked by her teachers and giving her mushrooms? So she couldn't remember.
Just before the test?
No, just in general. Bro, you know how fucking retarded you gotta be to not be able to pass the written test. Which,
it's the same questions.
True story.
She must have ran through like you know how they you have
you gotta know the book.
like a bank of questions.
Yes, you
right?
gotta know.
Ran through that shit how many times?
Oh, bro, they probably threw a fucking wrench in the whole thing, like in North Korea, and she's like, I don't know North Korean rules. Bro, fucking, I failed my first attempt at my written exam for my permit.
Okay.
And I was fucking fuming because my sister did. However, my sister is the worst driver in the history of mankind. Bro, my sister drives like we're playing Mario Kart and she got unlimited lives. She just be going in the oncoming traffic. There'll be shit in the way. She's just like, let's see what happens if I run over this. Like, awful. And I passed the first, and I always get clowned for failing the first like written exam on the, and I can't even remember why, but it was like clearly I missed too many questions on the written portion of the permit. I was fuming because people would make fun of me all the time, and they'd be like, "Yeah, sister passed it." I'm like, "Have you seen her drive? I don't want to hear shit."
Was she always bad?
My sister's fucking a terrible driver, bro.
Does her husband let her drive now?
My sister might be the worst driver I know. No. And
so he's not even from here.
He keeps moving her to cities where you don't need a car. I think it's by design. I don't know. It's just speculation.
So when they come to visit, does he drive?
He does.
And he's not even from here.
He's not even from here. He think he got to drive on the left side of the road. And he's better off doing that shit at every road than letting my sister take the wheel. Yo, my sister drive like she never had sight. Like she Helen Keller and then like trying to teach her through a sim. Bro, I've been in the car with my sister. You know, one time I was so drunk, I gave my sister the keys and I knew I was fucked up because when I gave her the keys, I went, I gotta be fucked up. I just gave her my keys. And normally I would be like, drunk me is significantly better than my sister, like 10 times sober.
Oh, yeah, you must be real fucked up.
Oh, I was annihilated. And the hilarious part was, as I'm giving her the keys, in my mind, I'm going, I'm fucked up. My chances of survival have just declined.
Just the fact that I was willing to give her the keys says something about my state of mind.
Giving my sister the keys is like handing over your infant to like Casey Anthony at daycare.
I'll be back in a couple hours.
Will you? Like every time I get in, I assume it's my last time. I'm like, let's fucking go. We going to the outlets. We're going to the mall. Might be the last trip.
Yo, man, you know what, man? I just thought about something really fucked up. You know, Cadillac has the self-driving shit.
Okay.
Fucking to my knowledge, remember reading that because you said this woman's from
North Korea or South Korea. Sorry, yeah.
So the way that system supposedly works is that it monitors your eyes.
Oh, the where you're okay, like your phone
if you're
or your Tesla, or
like if you fall asleep,
right,
okay. Like it'll because the video that I watched, it was like if you fall asleep, the shit will warn you, and then if you don't, you know, I guess wake up or whatever, it will literally like pull over and stop.
Yep,
dude. What if you're like Asian, But I mean like extra Asian.
And they can't tell
And they
when your
can't-
eyes are closed. Is that what you're getting at? And that shit's like, bitch, blink. Open wide.
Like, I am awake. The fucking car's pulling over.
Getting dead. So
I'm
bitch,
like,
open your eyes and you're
What
like,
I-
you're gonna start pulling over because you think you're asleep. Oh my God, bro. Fuck. Oh,
like-
that shit would be amazing.
And I'm thinking about it like, well, like, I don't even know why I said extra Asian.
Extra Asian. Hey, bitch looks like a dumpling. This is closed. Like I know there's meat in there, but I gotta bite it to
All right, man. This podcast has officially gone off the fucking rails.
I'll blame the Henny. My bad.
Don't drink this shit, people.
Don't
I take it back. I said it was good. I fucking lied.
bro. I've drank so much. I'm pretty sure I'm incapable of getting the disease ever again, bro. I've drank so
I
much
got
of this
shit to do tomorrow, man.
You got shit. What? Nah, you be all right. I'm superpower. I'm telling you, the shit I gave you, bro, you're gonna be fine. Then hold up. There's one more story that I feel like we had to get to.
What's that?
You had we already got to the.
How are we doing on time?
I don't even know anymore, bro, because we had to pause and stuff.
God
We're
damn
definitely over an hour. So we should talk about the Trump and the income tax shit.
No, let's not. Let's leave.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, nigga.
Fuck y'all. We're not paying taxes.
No. Fuck that shit. Tell them where they can find us.
At the Carbon Food Podcast on Facebook, at the Carbon Podcast on IG, at Carbon FB Pod on X, on TikTok, or TikTok is actually at Carbon Food Podcast, and all your favorite audio platforms: Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you guys leave a review, tell your friends, share it, tell your therapist, your fucking doctor, your coworkers, everybody, your pizza man. The best thing you guys can do right now for us is just share, and leave a comment. Leave a like, tell us you hate us. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just leave some kind of engagement, or a drink recommendation, or I don't know.
Those are the best.
Yeah. The drink recommendations are awesome. Also I really need to stop drinking Henny and tequila because woo.
And as always, we appreciate you guys. We will see you next week.
See you next week.
Hey.
Peace.